He signed the papers before he even saw her face. The nurse handed him a clipboard. Consent forms, release waivers, pages of legal text he didn't read. He just kept signing, over and over. His hand moved like it wasn't attached to his body anymore. "You're sure about this?" the nurse asked. He didn't look up. "Yeah. You know you can't undo it." "I know." She walked away. He sat alone in the pre-op room. White walls, fluorescent lights, the smell of antiseptic. He didn't know why he was doing this. He just knew he had to. Before we dive in, drop a comment and let us know where you're watching from. We'd love to hear from you. If you enjoy stories like this, be sure to like the video, subscribe, turn on the notification bell, and share it with someone who'd love it too. His name was Marcus, 34, no family, no kids. I worked construction in Pennsylvania, lived in a studio apartment with a couch he'd found on the street and a TV that only got 3 channels. He'd seen the post on a community board at the hospital 6 weeks ago. Desperate. Mother of 3 needs kidney donor. Type O. Please help. There was a photo. A woman with tired eyes and 3 kids around her. The youngest couldn't have been more than 5. Marcus stared at that photo for 10 minutes. Then he called the number. The testing took 3 weeks. Blood work, tissue matching, psychological evaluation. They asked him 100 questions. Why was he doing this? Did he expect anything in return? Did he understand the risks? He gave them the answers they wanted to hear. But the truth was simpler. He had 2 kidneys. She needed 1. That was it. No big story, no dramatic reason. Just math. And he met her the day before the surgery. Her name was Lisa, 38. Brown hair going gray at the temples. Thin in a way that looked wrong, like her body was eating itself from the inside out. She sat in a wheelchair even though she could walk. Her hands shook when she reached out to shake his. "Thank you," she said. Her voice cracked. "You don't have to thank me." "Yes, I do." Her eyes filled up. She didn't cry, just blinked hard and looked away. "My kids." "You don't have to explain," she nodded, wiped her face. "I don't know how to repay you." "You don't." They sat in silence for a while. Marcus didn't know what else to say. Lisa kept looking at him, like she was trying to memorize his face. "Can I ask you something?" she said. "Sure." "Why me? You don't know me. You don't know my kids. Why would you do this?" Marcus thought about it. I saw your picture. You looked like someone worth saving." Her face crumpled. This time she did cry. Quiet. Shoulders shaking. Marcus looked at the floor, gave her space. After a minute, she pulled herself together. "Sorry. Don't be. I'm not usually like this. You're dying. You're allowed." She laughed. It was a sad sound. "The doctor said I had maybe 6 months. Less if I didn't find a match." She looked down at her hands. "My kids don't know how bad it is. I told them I was sick. That I'd get better, but they're not stupid. They know." Marcus felt something twist in his chest. "How old are they?" 12, 9, and 5. "What are their names?" "Emma, Jacob, and Sophie." She smiled, just a little. "Sophie still believes in Santa. Jacob wants to be an astronaut. Emma pretends she doesn't care about anything. But she leaves me notes under my pillow." Her voice broke. "I can't leave them. I can't." Marcus didn't know what to say, so he just sat there. Let her talk. She told him about her ex-husband, how he left when Sophie was born, how she'd been doing it alone ever since, working 2 jobs, barely keeping the lights on. Then the kidney disease hit. Sudden, aggressive. She'd been on the transplant list for 2 years, but the wait was long, too long. "I thought I was out of options," she said. "Then You called. She looked at him. Really looked at him. You saved my life. Marcus shook his head. We haven't done the surgery yet. The next morning, they wheeled him into the operating room. The anesthesiologist told him to count backward from 10. He got to 7. When he woke up, everything hurt. His side felt like someone had split him open with a dull knife, which technically they had. A nurse checked his vitals, told him the surgery went well, that Lisa was in recovery, that he'd be able to see her in a few hours. He closed his eyes, drifted. When he woke up again, it was dark outside. A doctor stood by his bed. Older guy, gray hair, serious face. How are you feeling? The doctor asked. Like I got hit by a truck. The doctor smiled. That's normal. He pulled up a chair, sat down. I need to talk to you about something. Marcus's chest tightened. Is she okay? She's fine. The kidney is functioning well, but we ran some standard post-op tests, genetic markers, compatibility analysis, things we do to make sure the transplant takes. He paused. We found something unusual. Marcus stared at him. What? The doctor pulled out a folder, opened it. You and Lisa share significant genetic overlap, more than we'd expect from a random donor match. Marcus didn't understand. What does that mean? It means you're related. The room went silent. Marcus blinked. That's impossible. We ran the test twice. The results are conclusive. Based on the markers, you and Lisa are biological siblings. Marcus's brain stopped working. He just stared. The doctor kept talking. Something about DNA. About how rare it was. About how they'd need to verify with more tests. But Marcus couldn't hear him. All he could hear was his own heartbeat. Loud. Pounding. That doesn't make sense, Marcus said. I don't have a sister. Were you adopted? Marcus froze. How did you know that? It would explain the discrepancy. Marcus sat up. Too fast. A pain shot through his side. He gritted his teeth. I was adopted when I was 2, from a group home in Ohio. I don't know anything about my birth family. The records were sealed. The doctor nodded slowly. Lisa was also adopted, when she was 3. From the same state. Marcus felt the room tilt. You're saying we were separated? It's possible. If your birth parents couldn't care for both of you, it's not uncommon for siblings to be placed separately. Why didn't anyone tell us? The system doesn't always track these connections, especially back then. Marcus couldn't breathe. Does she know? Not yet. We wanted to talk to you first. Don't tell her. The doctor looked surprised. Why not? Because she's got enough to deal with. She doesn't need this right now. Marcus, this is significant. I said don't tell her. His voice came out harder than he meant it to. The doctor backed off. Okay, but you'll need to tell her eventually. She has a right to know. Marcus didn't sleep that night. He just lay there, staring at the ceiling, trying to piece it together. He'd spent his whole life thinking he was alone. No family, no roots, just him. And now this. A sister. 3 nieces and nephews. A connection he didn't know existed. He thought about Lisa, about the way she'd looked at him, the way she'd said thank you. She didn't know. She thought he was just some stranger, some good Samaritan. But he wasn't. He was her brother, and she had no idea. 2 days later, they let him see her. She was sitting up in bed, still pale, still thin, but her eyes looked brighter, less gray. Hey, she said. Hey. He sat down in the chair next to her bed, moved slow. His side still hurt. How are you feeling? She asked. Like I donated a kidney. She laughed, a real laugh this time. Thank you. Again. I know I keep saying it, but you don't have to. Yes, I do. She reached out, took his hand. You gave me my life back. You gave my kids their mom. I'll never be able to repay that. Marcus looked at her hand in his. He should tell her. He knew he should, but the words wouldn't come. Can I ask you something? He said. Of course. Were you adopted? She blinked, surprised. Yeah. How did you know? Just a guess. She studied his face. Why? Just curious. She didn't push, just nodded. I was 3, from a group home in Ohio. I don't remember much about it, just flashes. A woman's voice, a blue blanket. That's it. Marcus's throat went tight. Do you ever think about your birth family? Sometimes. But I had good adoptive parents. They died a few years ago, but they loved me. That's what matters. Marcus nodded. He wanted to tell her, wanted to say the words. I'm your brother. We were separated. We found each other. But he couldn't. Not yet. Not when she was still recovering. Not when she needed to focus on healing. So he just sat there, held her hand, let her talk about her kids, about how excited they were to see her, about how Sophie made her a card with glitter and stickers, about how Jacob couldn't stop asking when she'd come home, about how Emma tried to act tough but cried when no one was looking. They want to meet you, Lisa said. Really? Yeah. They keep asking about the man who saved their mom. She smiled. I told them you were a hero. I'm not a hero. You are to us. Marcus looked away. When do you get out? Tomorrow. If everything looks good. That's great. Will you come visit after I'm settled? Marcus hesitated, then nodded. Yeah, I will. A week later, he drove to her house. Small place, 2 bedrooms, peeling paint, but the yard was clean, flowers in the front, a swing set in the back. He knocked. Lisa opened the door. She looked better, more color in her face, less hollow. You came, she said. I said I would. She smiled, stepped aside. Come in. The house smelled like cookies. Kids' toys covered the living room floor, drawings taped to the walls, photos everywhere. Emma, Jacob, Sophie, come down here, she called. 3 kids appeared at the top of the stairs. The oldest, Emma, came down first. Dark hair, serious eyes. She looked just like Lisa. Jacob followed. Messy brown hair, gap-toothed grin. Sophie was last. Tiny, blonde, holding a stuffed rabbit. They stared at Marcus. This is Marcus, Lisa said. He's the one who helped me. Emma stepped forward. Thank you for saving my mom. Her voice was steady, but her eyes were wet. Marcus swallowed hard. You're welcome. Jacob ran up and hugged his leg. Just grabbed on. Marcus froze. Didn't know what to do. Then slowly he put his hand on the kid's head. Sophie stayed back. Watched him. Are you our uncle now? She asked. The room went silent. Lisa laughed nervously. Sophie, that's not... It's okay, Marcus said. He looked at Sophie, then at Lisa, then back at the kids. And something inside him cracked open. He thought about the doctor, about the test results, and about the truth sitting in his chest like a stone. He'd been carrying it for a week, trying to figure out when to say it, how to say it, but looking at these kids, looking at Lisa, he realized there was no perfect time, no perfect words, just the truth, and the choice to share it. Can I talk to you? He said to Lisa. Alone? She frowned. Sure. Kids, go play upstairs for a minute. They grumbled but obeyed. When they were gone, Lisa turned to him. What's going on? Marcus took a breath. There's something I need to tell you about the transplant. Her face went pale. Is something wrong? Is the kidney failing? No, nothing like that. It's working fine. Then what? He looked at her. Really looked at her. The doctors ran some tests. Genetic tests. Standard procedure. They found something. Lisa's hands started shaking. What? We're related. You and me. Siblings. She stared at him. Didn't move. Didn't speak. Just stared. What? I know it sounds crazy, but they tested twice. We were both adopted. From the same place, same time period. We were separated when we were kids. Her face went white. She sat down hard on the couch. That's not possible. It is. How? I don't know all the details, but the DNA doesn't lie. She looked up at him, tears streaming down her face. You're my brother? He nodded. She covered her mouth with her hand, sobbed, hard. Marcus sat down next to her, didn't touch her, just sat there. I'm sorry, he said. I should have told you sooner, but I didn't know how. She shook her head. I spent my whole life wondering where I came from, if I had family out there, if anyone was looking for me. Her voice broke. And you were here the whole time. I didn't know, Marcus said. If I'd known, you saved my life. You gave me a kidney, and you didn't even know I was your sister. She looked at him. What kind of person does that? Someone who had a kidney to spare. She laughed through her tears. You're an idiot. Yeah, I know. She reached out, grabbed his hand, held it tight. Thank you. For everything. For the kidney. For finding me. For coming back. Marcus's eyes burned. He blinked hard. I'm sorry I wasn't there before? You're here now. She squeezed his hand. That's what matters. They sat there for a long time, not talking, just holding on. Upstairs, that family isn't always who you grow up with. Sometimes it's who shows up when you need them most. She smiled. They're going to be so excited. Yeah. Sophie was right. You are their uncle now. Marcus looked at her, at this woman who was his sister, who he'd saved without knowing why. And he realized something. He'd spent his whole life thinking he was alone. But he wasn't. He never was. He just hadn't found his people yet. I don't know how to be an uncle, he said. Lisa laughed. You'll figure it out. What if I mess it up? Then you mess it up. We all do. But you're here. That's what counts. She stood up. Come on. Let's go tell them. They walked upstairs together. The kids were in Emma's room, playing some game Marcus didn't understand. Lisa knocked on the door. They all looked up. We have something to tell you, Lisa said. She looked at Marcus. He stepped forward. Your mom and I just found out something. Something big. Emma frowned. What? Marcus took a breath. I'm your uncle. Your mom's brother. We didn't know it before, but we're family. The room went silent. Then Sophie screamed, ran at him, threw her arms around his waist. Jacob followed. Then Emma, slower, more careful. But she hugged him too, all three of them holding on like he might disappear. Marcus looked at Lisa over their heads. She was crying again, but smiling too. He smiled back, and for the first time in his life, Marcus didn't feel alone. He felt like he belonged, like he'd found something he didn't even know he was looking for. A sister, a niece, 2 nephews, a family. Not the one he was born into, but the one he chose. And the one that chose him back. They spent the rest of the day together, ordered pizza, watched movies. The kids showed him their rooms, their toys, their drawings. Sophie made him a card that said, "Best Uncle Ever," in crayon. Jacob asked if he could teach him how to build things. Emma didn't say much, but before Marcus left, she hugged him again. I'm glad you found us, she whispered. Me too, he said, and he meant it. That night, Marcus drove home, but it didn't feel like home anymore. Home was back there, in that small house with peeling paint, with Lisa and Emma and Jacob and Sophie, with the family he didn't know he had. He pulled into his parking lot, sat in his car for a minute, thought about everything that had happened, how a random post on a hospital board changed his life, how a stranger became his sister, and how one kidney became 3 kids calling him uncle, how the thing he gave away gave him everything back. He got out of the car, walked up to his apartment, and for the first time in 34 years, Marcus didn't feel like he was walking alone. If this story reminded you that family is more than blood, share it with someone who needs to hear it today. Sometimes the people we're meant to find are right in front of us, waiting for us to show up.